Nice, that worked. What's up, everybody? Let me know how the audio levels are. I think I actually have the audio muted, or the music muted, but I think we're good now. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. What's up, everybody? I just want to do a pop-up stream today. Just feeling like doing some Advent of Svelte, so I figured I would stream it. I'm a bit behind here. As you can see, I've only done day 1 and day 2. If you want to see the source code for these, it's down in the description below. Yeah, we're going to move through these and see how many I can get done today using Svelte 5. We just clean some stuff up over here. Haven't streamed in a minute, so my positioning's a bit set up. What up, Adrian? Welcome to the stream, sir. Okay, so I want to kind of dive into it. What is it? SvelteSociety.dev. Have you all done Advent of Svelte? And if so, did you use Svelte 5? And if so, how was it? I feel like off-centered right now. Like I feel like okay. I think I'm in position. So we're starting off with this Jingle Bell Balancer. Basically what it is, they give us a data set and we have to move presents, it looks like, in between from like a backlog into Santa's sled, and then keeping the sled under, I think it was 100 kgs per journey. I'm not sure if we'll get fancy enough to add like a drag and drop interface, but we will do some data visualization. We'll do like a progress bar to show like how full it is. And yeah, so they give us an endpoint we can fetch from here. And this is all of the day 1 and day 2 stuff here. And I'm using Shadsy and Svelte, of course. I know it's not the most festive or Christmas themed UI library, but I spent a lot of time on that UI library. So for the purposes of me using it for things like this, where I don't want to have to try super hard on styles, I can just kind of focus on getting the functionality in place. So I'm going to set up a load function to fetch this data. So get, what is this, like a presence? What's up, Simon? Raikuno, hello. Hello, welcome. Nintron, I saw you respond to my test. Thank you very much for that. That was really helpful. I got some stream graphics made. I feel like a ultimate gamer now. So if we go into intermission mode here, let's try this, see how this goes. We have this nice little stinger transition. Hey, Simon. There's 2 Simons in here now. Thanks. Feels good to be back at it. Mateo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yes, I got these stream graphics made. I kind of feel like this is a little bit too, that one's a little bit too slow, but you know, it'll do for now. It's better than my, what did I have? I had like some just like thumbnails I made and I put in there. What does this look like? It's just an array. We're using Svelte Kit 2 and Svelte 5. So Joel, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you again. We're gonna call this presence. Await. Get presence. Okay, so this will give us an array of presents. Now I'll create a page.svelte and we'll get access to those presents. Okay. scared my editor was bugging out there. You guys can see all the text and everything, right? I zoomed in quite a bit. But when I watched one of my recent videos back, I still wasn't zoomed in far enough, even though I was like, I feel like I have a magnifying glass in front of me right now. Okay, so think about this problem. Like, we're basically gonna have two arrays, right? We're gonna have an array of, for the backlog, and we're gonna have an array for the sled. And when we move an item from the backlog to the sled, it should move it or remove it from the backlog and add it to the sled, and then vice versa. We should be able to remove things from the sled and put it back into the backlog. The tab, this. Also, I don't know about you all, but I think myself and Adrian were talking about this. What's up, Blake? We're talking about this the other day. I cannot do this, because then I would have to sit like all the way over here. I need that like left padding, you know, or that margin. When I'm on my laptop, like a smaller screen, so I have a 13-inch MacBook Air. So I'm on that. Obviously, I don't have the space to be having that margin. But on my desktop, like, what am I supposed to do with all that space over on the right? So I like to have it on the left. It just gives me I can stay centered with my monitor and still have my code centered. I don't know, maybe I'm just maybe we're just a bit crazy here. Okay, so we're gonna have a name and a weight. So let me just make a type here. And then we'll just cast this type. Then we get this will be declared as present. Cool. Yeah, like, so I actually was rocking the 49-inch when I was a Windows user. I don't remember when I got these Macs, but sometime in like April timeframe, I switched to Mac full time. I used to just have a laptop, and then I got a desktop. And like 99% of monitors with Mac just suck. Like, it makes the fonts all weird and like blurry. So I had to switch to really expensive monitors just to have like correct colors and sharp text, which is such an Apple thing for them to do. But I didn't get the Apple monitors. I got the, what are these? The LG ones that they made with Apple. So I had to switch from one big 49-inch to two. Well, I have a 32. I think it's a 32. No, I have a 27 and a 24. I think of this perception of AI in this community. What do you mean by that? I built my desktop. So I have like a gaming desktop, which I didn't do any gaming on. I just built it with like gaming GPUs and stuff for video editing and rendering. That was actually the first one I built. Previously, I had bought like custom pre-built ones from like Cyber PC, whatever the hell it's called. But the last one I actually built, and I overpaid for it because I bought the GPU and CPU, and there was a massive shortage / scalping going on. Cyber power, yeah, dude. Yep. Hey, I was pretty intimidated by building a PC, honestly, surprisingly. I've always been a software tinkerer. I've never actually tinkered too much with like hardware. So I was just afraid I would break something really expensive, but it was pretty easy to do. Okay, so we have these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have two arrays. I'm going to make a copy of this array twice. So we'll have let slay. We'll have backlog presence. This will be state, and then we'll just do data. Whoops, data.presence. And we'll have slay presence. And this will just be an empty array to begin with. And both of these will be an array of presence. Yeah, it really is just Legos, except the painful part was like the cable management. So I got a small case, a smaller case, and I watched the video beforehand, and someone was like, if you never built a PC before, you probably should go with a bigger case. You have more space. I was like, I'll be all right. Dude, those cables were a bit tough to manage, but it ended up working out. I actually think my girlfriend put it in the closet because I don't use it anymore. I should probably like sell it or something. But I'm one of those people that just thinks maybe I'll need it one day and then I won't have it. Okay, so think about this. We got a maximum of 100 kgs per journey. So we have a hard max. We should show the current sleigh load and if the maximum has been exceeded. So, I mean, ideally, we wouldn't even let the max be exceeded. But I guess we could if that's what they're asking for. We won't deviate from the requirements. I don't know if we'll do drag and drop. We'll see. So I know I'm going to have like max load is what, 100? And then we're going to have a current load would be what? It'd be a derived state. And we're going to derive it from the sleigh presence. So let's just do, I could do like a reducer here. What is it? Sleigh. The hell is this doing? Yeah, this is why I'm not super concerned about AI, at least not at the moment. Okay, that should give us the right thing. So we're starting at 0, and then for each item in the array, we're adding the weight. Oh, yeah, Simon. That's definitely cool. I think that's definitely good to. It's definitely a good thing to start experimenting with and building things with. To be honest, I think I saw a tweet the other day, or maybe it was a couple months ago. It said like AI is not going to be like. AI apps here in the future, AI apps aren't going to be a thing. It's just going to be an expected feature of every application. Like every app is just going to be assumed to be powered by some form of artificial intelligence. Yeah. No, I don't hate on it as a trend. It does. I will say though, it does feel kind of like the whole Web3 thing that went on for a while there. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. And there's less likelihood, I guess, of somebody getting scammed doing it. Yeah, like, I'll be honest, I was the same way. And yeah, I have seen V0. It's pretty impressive. I think it's probably just it's probably just a fine-tuned GPT 3.5 or GPT 4. Yeah, like, so derived is actually like really powerful. So you can do things like this directly. And I kept trying to use effect for everything. And actually, Adrian is the one that kept telling me I should just use the drive because I was just trying to affect my way. And I kept running into like infinite loop issues where I was reassigning things that were dependent on these things. But derived, you can either do it directly like that, or you could just or I could do a function separately, like, I don't know, get cur load. And so if you have complex logic, you can obviously inline the function here and invoke it, or you can just put this here, return, insert whatever business logic here, and then return something, right? So what is this? Reduce, and then just pass it up here like this, get cur load, and just invoke it, and then you have a value. But most things can be accomplished through derived. Now, you should not be mutating states inside of derived. That's one thing I think they mentioned. It should be free of side effects. And so that's where you'd want to use like an effect. But I was actually struggling. So I'm working on a couple of videos on Svelte 5. Kind of want to start from like the beginning and just go into like basic reactivity. And I kept struggling to find like what is a good use case for effect that doesn't require me to build something overtly complex. And we'll see this. We can actually use it here in a bit. But a lot of times, so in day one, if you go and look, this is very extra. I was being very extra on day one. And this is when I was just messing around with what this like encapsulation would look like, being able to kind of have all your business logic here. It makes it much easier to see, especially when you're dealing with like multiple components. You have to like, if you put your logic inside of each component, it becomes a bit harder to map what's going on. You have to jump into component, what's this one doing, what's this one doing? Whereas if it's all here, and the only thing that's really getting returned or used are the methods in here, and then also, you know, the values, the reactive values themselves. But here, what I'm doing is, and this might not even be 100%. It's working so far for me, but I was messing around with like persisting the reactive data essentially to local storage. This is a port of Svelte persisted store by Josh Nuss, which is pretty popular, like syncing up a store with local storage. And so I was doing something like that with Svelte 5. And so what I was doing in day one was basically every time the persistent persons value changes, I was setting it to this like as an effect. So when it first mounted, it would grab that data from the local storage and populate it. But then whenever I go and actually edit the, persistent persons, where is it? When did I do this stuff? 6 days ago, and I already kind of forgot what I was doing here, but let me see here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so this here, I'm actually like setting this dot person data. So locally here, this is actually like the value of this local storage state, right? So when I update that, it's going to update local storage. You've got a comment in your code. Yeah, maybe I do, but. So back to day one here, or day three here. I'm going to move this back up here because this is kind of excessive, but yeah, you can do cool things like that with the derived state. So we have current load. So we can just have, I guess we could make this like a grid. And then we'll have like a container, and then we'll render out like all of the backlog. And then we'll also have another container, which would be where we'd render out all of the slave presence. So here we would just do each backlog presence. Let me give this a key here. I've noticed I've run into needing like a key more often with Svelte 5, especially when doing things like this where I'm sending things from one array to another. I've noticed I've needed a key more often than I feel like I needed one with Svelte 4, but it could just be me. Okay, so here's our data we have. Let's actually add some like styles to this thing. Maybe I'll just use a flex here, actually. I'll just use, actually I use a grid here, but I'll just use flex up here. Let's do this right here. What am I missing here? Okay, there we go. I'm pretty bad at CSS, so just please forgive me, okay? I went through a whole course and I still kind of struggle with it a bit as I'm prototyping. So we're gonna make these buttons, and when you click on that button, it's going to send it. It's gonna send it over to the other array. Okay, so we'll just have a button here with the name and the weight. And we'll clean this up before we finish here. And this might be a good opportunity for a snippet, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this looks kind of like a little bit terrible, but it's okay. We'll clean it up. Let me add padding to this. Okay, so when we click on one of these buttons now, we want to send that to the sled, right? So let's get that functionality implemented. So we could do like an on click. And what we want to do is we basically, well, let's start with the, with this bad boy up here. We're going to slice or splice from the backlog and push to the sleigh. So we can do sleigh presence dot push, and then backlog presence dot splice. I need access to the index. I1. Sleigh presence dot push, backlog presence dot splice. Is it because this thing could potentially be undefined? Yep, likely so, right? No, type presence. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I need to get the first index here. There we go. Okay, so as you can see now, when we click on one of these, it moves it over there. Nothing too fancy is going on. But now we want to keep track of the load. So we can have a nice little progress from Shadsy and Svelte. And we can just put this here. Max will be the max load, and the value is going to be the current load. And so as we add them, you're going to see the progress bar goes up like that. And then we want, I guess we should, also be able to do the inverse here. Of flipping it back to the other way. Okay, so I can add these over here, and then I can send them back just like that. So what else did it want us to do here? It wanted us to show the current load. So now we can see the current load up there as we add it. And it should also tell us when it has been exceeded. Now something else we could do to make this like a bit better is just not even allow, I guess I'll deviate a bit from the prompt here, but like I'm thinking we shouldn't even show the present if it can't be added. So in this case here, once we're over, like we should only show the presents that are able to be added here. It's like once we add the 7, we only have, what is that, 3.6 left. We should only show things that are less than 3.6. Damn, Joel, I didn't ask to yeah, we could do that though. If it can get to 100, get as close to 100 as possible, but we will only show the ones that can be added. But yeah, we can also sort it by weight. Let's see here. What do I want to do first? Let's just show only ones that are able to be added, right? And so we'll say, we'll just add a conditional here. And Copilot is brilliant and does it for me. Yeah, so the current load plus the present weight is less than or equal to the max load. We could either disable it or we could just not show it at all. I just want to not show it at all. And so now once I add enough here, as you can see, we don't have any. That's pretty close. Pretty close. And then we could also sort this by my only concern with sorting this is that I guess we can just use an effect here for this. I guess this might be a good place for an effect. I think when I tried this before, it was like freaking out on me though. Let me just see. Whoops. I didn't even do anything here. I'm such an idiot. Okay. And we're going to sort it from high to low. Okay, so yeah, that's a good place for an effect. Yeah, so now we have it sorted high to low. If I refresh and I just spam this, we get pretty close. Pretty close. So this doesn't even allow us to go over the max. I'm trying to think if like this is even worth snippetizing here. I'm not really too sure. Considering we have some different conditional logic going on here, I definitely want to do some things with snippets today as well, if the opportunity presents itself. I just don't know if in this situation I would actually use a snippet here, or if I would just be forcing it just to use a snippet. So we're likely not going to use one. And to me, this is about good enough because I want to get through as many of these as I can today. Yeah, this is going to be it for this one. Let me just check here. Adrian, are you still seeing that in my editor? I'm not seeing that over here on my side. Yo, there's 29 people watching right now. What the heck? These are all lurking. I hadn't even checked how many viewers there were. I just see the chat. Welcome everybody to the stream. If you're new, welcome. Yeah, so this will be it for this one. This one's kind of relatively simple. Maybe we'll expand on it later and make it prettier. But overall, I just want to focus on the learning. So what I like about these challenge things are that they force us, or force me at least, to use Svelte in a way that I may not have ever used it before. Like I already looked ahead at some of the days and there's some things I've never even done ever. So it'll be interesting to see how those play out. One of them was like I don't remember which one it was, but one of them was, I think it was like a Braille thing. After I read it, it made more sense, but what's this one called? Jingle Bell Balancer. Hey Rohan, you're very welcome. Hey Ryan, that sounds like a dream, honestly. Inheriting a Svelte code base, that's awesome. That is awesome to hear. It's a very pleasant language. So what do we got for day 4? Heart of Christmas. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully I'm zoomed in enough so you guys can see this. So we're monitoring his heart rate throughout the day. Real-time data, so we're going to have to do like an interval fetch. See, this would be nice if they gave us like historical data. I guess we could do like a minute, but I'm not going to sit here for an hour and let that data collect. You know, I guess I could just create some starting, I don't know. heart rate over the course of the day. So like this would require us to like have some type of have this running all day, or have some type of server that's doing that stuff for us. I don't know if these were generated by AI or not. I think they were, right? I mean, they're pretty good prompts. But I guess the fact that it's Svelte bot would make sense that it is. These are AI generated prompts, but I imagine the endpoints and stuff were set up by the team. I should probably look into that. Okay, so this, we're just like fetching something every second. And I guess we could do like, we could do our best here to do this in a sense, like the historical view with charts and stuff. It's asking a bit much of me at this time of the day. But let's do this thing. So I could, of course, like server side fetch the first heart rate, but it just seems a bit excessive here. What is it? So what we could do is we could have first thing that comes to my mind when I think about this is we could have an array that we're just like pushing these different heart rate responses into every second. And then for the current heart rate, obviously it would be the last index of that array. But it seems like we're also going to want, like, if we want to do like average over specific periods, we need like a timestamp in there too. Like this is not, it could be nice if this also included a timestamp. They're really making us work here. But I guess if you were wanting to do something similar to this, I feel like something that's updating every second would also have a timestamp. Maybe. HTMX versus Svelte. It depends on who you are. If you're really hardcore, you can use HTMX. Like if you eat glass for dinner, you can use HTMX. But seriously, I don't have any thoughts on that. I've used HTMX a couple years ago when I was working a lot with Python backends and APIs. And I was using Django and like the weird Python web frameworks. Not that Django's not good, Django is good. But I wanted to make it more, web app feely. So I started to figure out, I didn't really know JavaScript much at all at that point in time. So I started to, people were using HTMX for like tables and stuff, like data tables. And it was nice to use. I just feel like it'd be difficult to maintain, but it could be a skill issue. I'm not sure. Okay, so maybe we do just associate like a timestamp with it, with each one of these. So we'll just like get the heart rate, and then we'll actually have like I guess we'll just make this a number 2. I could use dates here, considering I'm not like storing this somewhere, but we'll just use like a number. Yeah. So the effect is going to run on every single, like when it first mounts, right? Now, this is just going to run set interval every second. heart rate set, but obviously we're not doing this. We're actually going to have an array of heart rate list like this. And it wants us to generate, it's looking at, it's saying we want to generate random ones. We're actually going to fetch this from a database. So I actually haven't done an async effect yet. So I can't do this, right? I guess I'm not returning, wait. But I can just call the async function in here, no? Let's see how this goes. Because usually we would do this in like the on mounts, but I'm trying to, you know, see how these things would, obviously it's going to yell at me because I'm not inside of an async function. I guess I could do this. We'll say heart rate list to push. I think this will work. We'll see. We'll find out. We're learning. We're learning together. Where did my I don't know how that got over there, but all right, let's not push. My only concern is this going to do I need to untrack this? Oh no, we're getting them. Okay, cool. So we are in fact getting all of these every second. So now we can just start to like do something with that stuff, I guess, that information. So we have current heart rate. It should be relatively simple. Current heart rate is going to be heart rate list. And I want to say like something even cooler we could do like with derived, maybe like, I don't know if this is excessive or not, but like current. It's funny because Copilot doesn't know Svelte 5 yet, so it just suggests such weird things. It's actually more of an annoyance than a help within these different methods. And so we could just do current heart rate. Dot heart rate. I guess this is a con of it, huh? Okay, so Santa seems to be doing okay. There we go. That's good enough. Okay, what else they want from me? Average range over a specific period of time. So yeah, we get to work with dates again. Are you on my LinkedIn, Maxim? You got a job for me? Okay, so what do I want to do? We're doing average over like what? I guess we could do what? 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds type thing. You can find me on there. I don't like post it on here because LinkedIn's kind of cringe. But you can find me. Just look me up. You'll find me. Look up my name. I don't post any Hunt-A-Bite related stuff on there though. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Let's just do like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and a minute or something. So we may be able to use derived for this as well. Trying to think about what this might look like. It might be like a, I don't know, get 5 sec average. This is eventually going to go inside of a derived. How did I just do it there? So, I don't know, 5 sec average. And obviously this could be handled much better. We can clean this up given more time. I just want to solve the problem and move on, but ideally you would have a function that would just get some type of average, and then it would accept an argument. It would be the, whether it's 5 seconds, whatever, right? Or seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, days. So this is eventually going to go in here, but this also, I don't know, I should actually be able to derive, I think, from it. It's going to re-execute this every time the heart rate list updates, which is happening every second, so I think it should be fine. So basically what we need to do is we need to get an array of the heart rates that are within the 5 second window. And so we should just do like last 5, exactly like this. And I don't really know if we even would need this. We can throw it here, but technically, right, this should be running every time heart rate list changes, which is every second. And we're setting our own timestamp here, which could be a good reason that we use this here, because in reality, if it was being set somewhere, maybe these updates were only updated every so often. Yeah, we have this here. We're getting the current date, subtracting 5,000 milliseconds or 5 seconds. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought this was a map for a second. Okay. And then, yeah, we can get to some of them like this using a reducer, just as we did on the our previous problem with getting the weight. So here we're going through each one of the last 5 items, and then we're basically just adding the heart rates up. And then we're going to subtract by last 5 items dot length, or divide by last 5 seconds dot length, which should give us an average. We could say get 5-sec average. And that's what I love about derives, because we don't actually have to pass an argument here. It's able to determine when to re-execute this by just looking at this function. Hey, 10. You're very welcome. That's awesome to hear. Congratulations on launching your project. Maybe we can make this dynamic. Maybe we'll make this dynamic. We'll just allow the user to like enter something or select something, and we'll just have one function that kind of displays whatever the current filter is. Maybe we could do that. How did I name that? 5-second average. We could even do something like I'm trying to think about how we can make this like cleaner, because I do want to make. I think this is a good opportunity to maybe use like an actual like a class or something, because you could imagine this might be something that you want to use for multiple different things. I'm just trying to see if it's worth it here. We could make this our little switcher between different time periods a bit more dynamic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a couple of these things set up. So I'm going to do 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds, just so we aren't like spending way too much time waiting for these records to come in. But what we would have is like maybe 3 different buttons that would like toggle what that is, right? And you can imagine if you're actually displaying the data or visualizing the data, you would have the screen switch to whatever that visualization mode is being selected. Because at any point in time, let's say theoretically, this individual monitor, panel, card, whatever, is only going to have like one average being displayed. If we're thinking about like a graph or an average being displayed, right? Maybe not, but we'll just do that anyways. I don't really know what I'm talking about right now, so forgive me. It's hard to think and speak. That's why I do these streams. It challenges me. Okay, so now instead of just like doing this a bunch of times, what we can do is we can just have the user select the mode, and when they select the mode, we can default it to like 5 seconds to show it first. But when they select a new mode, trying to think if this is the best way to do this or not. Let me think about this for a second. So if we had a button that the user could press, like I guess we should just visualize it here. So actually, that would not make sense. Why would you want to toggle? Why would you want to switch between those like that? These are just averages. Well, we should make this function a bit better. But in that case, we would need different derives. Yeah, so I guess kind of ugly. So let's first just do this. We'll say get average heart rate. This will actually take in this can't, yeah, this can be derived. Just like this. So we have an array of different numbers, but I actually want it to be I want it to return an object. So this would be heart rate. And we'd also have the name. Damn it, I misplaced a... Okay. Okay. Damn, how many of those do I need? Okay, there we go. So this will give us an array of objects with name and number. And so then we can just averages, right? And we can have, or this could be like a, I don't know, UL. Each average heart rates has name, heart rate like this. Render each one of those out. And then this should update. And once we get over, yeah, you're starting to see they're kind of deviating from one another a little bit. We can even get extra fancy with this. What are the heart rate? How old do you all think Santa is? I don't really know. Is he 90? He's probably like 876 or something, right? Seems like more like late 70s, early 80s. Any medical professionals in the chat? Okay, so we'll go from 75 to 128. It doesn't seem like his heart rate's going down below 75. Like Santa's just kind of killing it, so I don't even know if it's worth it to even show that. I was gonna have like a little bar, you know, that showed like what his what the zones are, like how each average is, if it's too high, too low, or normal. But I don't even think it's worth, because it doesn't seem like it's deviating. It's like a random number between 1 and 10, and they're adding it to like 80 or something. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So I'm not gonna sit here and stare at this. Yeah, I think this is okay. Okay enough. And I want to try to get a few of these done. Hopefully people can get some ideas as to how Svelte 5 is pretty nice. This would normally, again, be done like an on mounts. I think the array pushes, like the proxying of the arrays, are incredible. Because this was always something that would trip people up, and that would trip me up all the time. I'll do a push, and why is this not reacting? Oh yeah, I have to reassign this thing. Yeah, this is a good use, I think, of derived and time is it 10:30? All right, we have about maybe an hour. I'm moving too slow. I'm moving slower than I thought I was going to move. I'm trying to impress you all with my designs, and you know, it's just not worth it. Can't rush design, right? Okay, I actually haven't seen this question yet. Elf productivity dashboard. Real-time insights in the workflow. There's two primary tasks that we're tracking: created toy and wrap present. You'll tap in information, number of toys produced per hour, the time taken for each toy, and the L's task completion rates. Visualizing this data in an engaging and interactive way. Show the data in real time. Why is this indented? Typo. We got created toy and wrap presents. Toys produced per hour, time taken for each toy. And I guess we can do like some averages and like stuff. Maybe it's a good time to try out a library that I've actually been wanting to look at. And I know once I get on this rabbit hole, I'm gonna end up staying up too late, or what is it, layer chart? Stay up too late or not get as much done, but it's be fun. Hey Sarma, I actually have a video on that already. I have a video for caching in SvelteKit. It goes over a couple different techniques. One, like forwarding the cache control header on from like another API's endpoint you're hitting, maybe forwarding it on to your clients, and then also goes into setting up your own cache with like Redis. So I've been wanting to try this out. Because with ShadC and Svelte, I'm using some charts here, and these are kind of hacked together. Especially on this page here, I'm using, what am I using here? I'm using Unovis. or UnoViz. I guess that would probably make more sense. It's called UnoViz. Jesus, this is bright. This is pretty good. Like, I won't lie, this was decent. Like, I didn't have too much of a hard time doing what I was trying to do. They do have a Svelte, a Svelte thing somewhere if I could find it. I don't know where their Svelte specific thing is, but yeah, they have a Svelte package. Yeah, right here. And you have these VizXY containers and stuff that you can import, and I mean it's okay. But I want to try out Layer Chart, which is by Sean Lynch. He's from West Virginia. I'm also originally from West Virginia, so happy to support somebody from my home state. There's not a lot of programmers there, so it's cool to see him doing this. Yeah, he has a ton of stuff. Okay, so maybe I will, what am I going to do? What are we doing right now? Sorry, I'm extremely ADHD and I kind of get off track here. I guess first, before we start digging into charts, let's actually just get this data, let's actually get this thing working, functional. Maybe we will add some charts here to visualize it. Hey, happy holidays. Is it Attila? So melt or ShadCN? Well, if you use ShadCN, you're using melts. It depends on what you're using. Depends on what you're doing. Melts is what I made Bits UI with. I'm not familiar with Tia the Hun. Is it Tia or Attila? Yeah, Melt UI is great if you want, I guess, more control. More control over the elements, like Attila. Okay, got it. Or Attila. Got it. Yeah, Melt is great when you want more control over the elements. Again, you can use it to build things like Bits UI and eventually then ShadCN and Svelte is built on top of Bits UI. It depends on what interface you prefer. Do you prefer, or if you're doing scope styles, Melt UI is great because with components, you can't scope style them. That's one of the big things with that. I think Bits does provide a lot of interfaces for things like transitions and other things that would normally be, I guess, potentially limited to having those elements. And they also provide, props for, like an AsChild prop for being able to render your own element, but then that's just going to adds extra lines of code that if you just wanted to always render your own element, and then you would use Melt. Okay, so day 5, let's do this. It seems like the first one that's going to be a little bit more interesting, maybe. So, like, my thoughts here, every second, we're just going to, like, pump data into a big array, and then we're just going to, like, handle that. And we could fetch the data server side, so we're not dealing with, like, data not being there by the time that we want to see the data. So we could just do, like, an initial... I don't need to do all that. I can just do this. That's gonna be an array of tasks. Okay, so we have our tasks. Whoops. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So we have two primary tasks that we're tracking, represented in the JSON data by created toy and wrap present. Tap in information produced by hour. Please. And time taken for each toy and the elves task completion rates. Visualize this data. So are we doing this on each elf? Elves workflow. I mean, I guess I imagine we want to see like each one, right? This we're doing a lot of work. We're doing a lot of client side work here that I feel like I need like I just want like a list of all of the I guess we can get that. I don't know if sets are reactive though. Like, I guess we could do something like, this just feels kind of weird, but let's see, like elves. Or I guess what we could do is we could potentially have, hello, Ayush. Welcome to the stream. Part of me wants to have like an object. Task completion rate. So I'm imagining if they don't like how do I know if they completed it or not? I guess it should go like created toy and then wrap present, or are they different things? Okay. Minutes taken. Yeah, I guess like, but this can always be a number. I guess I'm just trying to figure out, because it says completion rates, as if there's a way for them not to complete the task. At least to me, a completion rate is like what percentage of tasks do you start do you actually complete? And I'm not sure if this is like supposed to be sequential where it'll have created a toy and then it will have wrapped present. or if these are two entirely separate things that they're just wanting us to track. So maybe we'll just skip out on analyzing that for this time being, the completion rates. But what I want to do is visualize like each of the different elves, maybe like their own little card, and just show their information. Like on a per elf basis. So to do that, like we'd likely want to have an object or a map. Maps aren't reactive yet. So we can have is like an array of, or we can have an object that the key is the elf's name. I think that will work. Of string, yeah, string, because it's going to be the elf's name. So that way we can associate each elf's thing, array of things, and then as they come in, we can just push it to the right place. And then it'll just have their tasks. So it'll have an array of tasks, right? Or do we want to derive this from the state? Okay, well, first things first, we're gonna have to fetch. We're gonna have to fetch. This might be actually a good case for derived. I need to look into it and see for a second, but we have another one of those effect set interval. This last one, task. Okay, so this is working. Wow, that's quite a bit of tasks. Am I supposed to fetch this every second? Is that what it said? Yeah, every second. Okay, very well. But my question is this duplicated or no? It's just all new data. Like, is this supposed to be is this a merge thing, or is this a does anybody know off the rip? Is this a like, is this new data every time, or is this like, are these duplicates? Are these new, is this new data coming through, or is this straight up? I guess I could check the timestamps. Say I'm being kind of weird here. No, it seems like it's actually it might be duplicates. Yeah, I know what Zulu time is. I was in the military, so I'm familiar with it. Can't tell me none of you guys have done this yet. You're gonna make me find this out the hard way. $12:05. Shit is not updating. Unless it's just putting it into a random order. Okay, it is updating, I think. I guess I should probably wait a minute, huh? Is anybody aware if this... Am I supposed to be merging this with what I already have, or am I supposed to just be like appending it? Okay, I'm not really seeing it change. Maybe I'm just being impatient here, but it says it changes every second. But to me, this isn't the way it's updating every second. It looks like it's the same data. Okay, so let's just ignore this for now. My browser had to crash because I have so much data on this page. Yeah, like, this is a lot of data. For it to update this much every second is a bit. It's a lot. So I'm feeling like it looks like it was updated every second at one point in time, maybe. And we have, but whatever. We're just gonna pretend like that isn't the case for now. And so it shouldn't be too difficult if it is the case to like push to it, but part of me thinks that it's not actually updating. But part of me could also be stupid. So get tasks by elf. And then this is going to be a derived state. And we're going to pass this function in. So about how to best. So I guess you just have like an object here. Yeah, so here what we're doing is we're essentially setting the name of this object to whatever the elf is. If it doesn't exist already, we're going to set it to an empty array, and then push the tasks to this array for each one of those tasks for that specific elf. And we should be able to just return elf data. This will be a derived state, and we'll just say get task by elf. And then we have this record with string and task. And then I'm going to import then we'll have a card for each elf. Let's just first. So this will say like elf name, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. The content, we're going to put like their stuff. Maybe, I don't know, we could do a table or something that has their stuff, but what did they want from us? They wanted, shit, wrong thing. Oh, they also like want the, okay. So another cool thing you can do with derived state is you can derive other state from derived states. So in this case here, they want like some calculations for number of toys produced per hour, time taken for each toy. And so what I'm thinking here is that now that we have this object with all of the different elves in it, we can then go through that object and create essentially, so that object would just contain their tasks. I guess we could run the calculations there too, but so like here, actually no, we actually end up needing we want to hold all their data. We could do it before we leave this here. So now we have each elf's task. We can essentially iterate over this object. I'm not really too sure what is like the most, I guess, performant way to handle this. If it'd be more performant to do it in a separate derived, or if it's just better to do it all here. Hey Peach Janok. I'd say yeah. If you're just doing a small like little project, I don't know. I wouldn't ship anything to users with Svelte 5. But if it's just you wanting to learn and practice it, sure. I'm using it right now, and I think it's awesome. I can't wait till it's stable. To me, it just makes more sense. Like I have to get out of Svelte 4 mode a little bit. Maybe we all have to get out of Svelte 4 mode. But once you do, it's things make more sense, at least to me, or less messy. You don't need as many stores to do certain things or to handle more complex logic. A lot of things can be done. Like this the derived is so powerful. Especially considering you can derive from derived. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's possible. So what do y'all think? Should we just go through each one of the elf? Should we iterate over the elf data now and then just like append its things to it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm gonna be lazy and do it a different way, or not lazy, but just because then my type's gonna be all jacked up. I gotta figure out. I'm gonna have to do like null checks and stuff when really it's not true. Actually, no, I won't. Toys produced per hour, time taken for each toy, and the elves' task completion rates. I mean, I guess just like maybe their total task completed. would be like their rates. Or I guess you could say like how many tasks they've completed in the past hour. My only concern though is that this data seems like it was like today's the 19th. Looks like the data was last updated on like the 5th. Is this endpoint working for anybody else? I'm gonna link it here. Is anybody else getting like, whoops, that is not the right thing to do here. Let me remove that. I guess I can't hit Control V in OBS without pasting one of my screens. Is this updating for anybody else every second like they say it is, or does it only happen on like the first day of Advent of Svelte? Whatever. We're just gonna do it. So I guess task completed is just gonna be the length of tasks, right? Because we don't have an incomplete status, so we don't need a separate property for that. Like toys produced per hour. Is anybody able to confirm if that's actually updating for them or not? Every second. I don't know if I'm being like cached. Okay, so let's just do like an average minutes. Like, it's gonna be kind of annoying because I'm gonna have to like backlog my starting date to like whatever date is here. And since there's not like a continuous feed coming in, like I could aggregate it, I guess, based on that hour of the day, but I feel like this is supposed to be updating, but it's not. So I'm not going to get caught up on this. We're in a time crunch here. So we'll just have min per toy, min per task. I guess that's like, we want the total and then min per tasks. I thought it was gonna be a lot cooler where we could have it like live updating for all these different elves. So in a perfect world, I would maybe best do this here. But I'm not perfect, so let's just do, what is it? Okay, so we're getting the entries from elf data. For each entry, we're grabbing the elf, which is the name, as well as their tasks. And then we're adding up the total minutes and then setting the min per task to the total minutes. We don't actually have to, we shouldn't have to update the tasks. Elf data, Oh, my type is jacked up here. God. Oh, we have a task now. Sorry. Data.task.reduce. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was looking like to me. This would be actually a cool one to do. Hopefully some of the other ones are better. They might just be like a bug, or maybe they overestimated the volume. Okay, so this should ultimately give us the data we want. So we kind of group each elf into their own little property in an object, so we can just go back through it and then get that elf's thing, or get that elf's minutes per task. And the reason I wanted to set it up like this originally was because if data was being streamed in every second, like if we're getting new data, then obviously we can just, for each, whenever that name, or that as we're iterating over that new data, that elf's name, we can just go and update that elf's tasks and then have it update the, and I was gonna do a separate drive which would update its time, like the total, or the min per task and all that stuff, but this should be okay. So we'll say each, object entries, elf data. And elf is going to be the property. That's the elf's name. And then we have, we're just going to keep tasks here. And then we can do something like, I don't know, task completed. Data.tasks.length. Average minutes per task. I broke something. Why is it having a hard time reading tasks? Yeah, that's what it's looking like to me. Yeah, it's static AF. Thanks for confirming that, guys. Appreciate it. Can I set properties of undefined setting tasks? I feel like I'm back in JavaScript again. Get test by elf. A rate up for each. Elf is a property. Isn't the derive calling the function to set the starting value? Oh, wait. Wait. Yeah, so we have tasks here, which just comes from the load function. This should be called when task changes, or it should derive itself from tasks. So task should already be a thing here. It is. I console logged it. I could see it. Undefined setting tasks. Okay, so it's setting. It's somewhere here. Yeah, it should be like what? It should be like has. Oh, if not, what is it? Task.elf. Wait, what the hell am I trying to do here? I'm trying to do has. Is that not a thing? Has? What am I thinking of right now? I know in. Okay, it's not in. Is it in? It is in. What the hell am I thinking of when I say has? Is this it? No. It's setting the tasks, so it's here. I don't know if that's it, though. Is it? Is that all I have to do? No way. Yeah, no, it's I think it's this. Yeah, does that matter though? It shouldn't matter. It should be a const. Yes, that was my mistake. But oh, I have a side effect going on in here. Technically, right? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't have a side effect. Yeah, line 19, this right here. There we go. I guess I'm just like, you can't do that, I guess. I guess you can't. Nice, we're getting fancy with it in here. Okay, so now we're good. So now we have our tasks. Thankfully, Adrian was still lurking in the background. He's always here for my support. Yo, Gopher. Go to sleep. It's going to be up tomorrow. Get some rest, unless you're just waking up in the morning. Okay, so now we have all their data here. How do we do the whole, it's like a, don't tell me, I know this. Two fixed, two? Hey, there we go. This is less cool than I thought it was going to be because it's not, the data is not streaming in. So I apologize, but Okay. Um, Joan, the issue was no unchecked indexed access. Usually that's on for me because I feel like it's weird that it was letting me do some of these things because normally TypeScript screams at me every time I try to do anything with like this or with the reducers. I just have a hard time. Let's find out if that would have caught me. Oh man. Adrian's always doing this to me. He's making it hard on me. Could have let me live without that. But yeah, that's weird. It's not on. I feel like it's like on in Svelte 4, or maybe it's just on it for. I don't know, but I feel like I always run into this, but maybe not. And I was kind of shocked that it was just working, but so basically. Now we can do the whole has thing. So now we can do if not. But this, I don't think it's not gonna recognize this though, as otherwise it would already be here. So I guess we can do if elf data if task.elf in elf data. No, okay. What is it? What am I looking for here? This is what gets me with TypeScript is like that's what gets me with TypeScript. Oh. No. Oh. Because this const value is elf data task L. Elf data task elf. That's it. But in this case, maybe I'll leave that alone and then I just come in here and say, but then Val's not going to update here. Man. You know what I usually do here? I do one of these, you know. Okay, if Val is not, if Val. Here we go. No, you're not going to work either. You're an asshole. Because task is undefined. You know what? Can I do this? Why do you hate me? This isn't gonna update the object though. Is it? No way. This is not gonna update that object. Actually, maybe it will. Will it? I think it actually will. Because this in and of itself is an object. Damn me for making me turn that setting on. I'm going to be up till midnight trying to get rid of these type errors that I thought I was just scotch free from, you know? Okay. The only thing is I don't have the names. Think about this for a second. So I should be able to safely check here and say if elf in elf data, right? And this should work, but it doesn't. I think this might be right. Is this going to... This should be a reference to the same object, right? This val here, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Let's just find out this way. But yeah, it is working. Obviously, it's working because I'm actually seeing it here. Jeez. Sometimes, man, I question my abilities here. Hopefully, I don't have... Oh, great. I have 30 viewers just watch me go through that. Incredible. It's getting late, so I was, you know, maybe only one person was watching, but yo. Okay, I'm turning this off for now, Adrian. Okay, I'm sorry. You're going to be really disappointed in me, but just for now, so I can get through a couple more challenges. Maybe tomorrow I'll refactor these, but I thought this was like 500 IQ right here, you know? Like, wow, it just works so great. All right, fine. I'll turn it back on. See, now I have to like set up a function for this. Where do I add that here? Where do I add that? I know I could do that. I saw it at the end. This is fine. Okay, fine. So this will be fine. Okay for now. What happened up here? Yeah, Joan, if it wasn't an object, it wouldn't, if it was a value, it wouldn't work. But since it was an object, as part of that object, since this in and of itself is an object, it looks like this. It's a reference to that object. Did I need this here? Yeah. Okay, whatever. This is kind of sloppy, but it works. Okay. So now we have all this data for these elves. I'm not really too sure what else we're supposed to do with it, considering we don't have a stream of data coming in. Why does it feel like these elves are doing this really quick? Should probably server render the beginning of this too, just to prevent that from happening. But average minutes are only taking 1 minute per task. I feel like I have some botched logic somewhere. That's a quick task. Yeah, something's definitely not correct there, peeps. So maybe my logic is jacked up. Okay, so total minutes. We're gonna get the total minutes for all the tasks. Right, so tasks for every single task, this elf, we're adding up the total minutes. Total minutes divided by the number of tasks. There's just no way possible. I don't believe that what I'm doing here is right. Some of these people are some of these elves are slacking, taking 45 minutes, 44 minutes to make a single toy. 53 here, 59. There shouldn't be any not as numbers though. Or not a numbers. Unless our data source is lying to us. But like, let's just do this. I'm probably just doing something extremely stupid. Yeah. Wait. Is this what I'm doing wrong here? No. Logic is back to task rate would be number of tasks over time, not reverse. What I'm trying to do is just minutes per task. So if we get the total number of minutes that they perform these tasks, which we're getting here, I should divide that by the number of total tasks they completed, which would then give me their average minute per task. How much did you take per task you did overall? Oh. Let's just do something here. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, now let's do this. Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. Please, everybody, look away. Look away really quick. There we go. I was getting ahead of myself there. I named, so I was using this tasks. I probably shouldn't have all these similar names, but yeah, I was using these tasks, which has a length of 1. Well, no, it has a length of however many elves are, I guess, but I was dividing it by that length instead of the length of that elf's total tasks. So that was my bad. Wow. Thank you everybody for hanging out. 28 viewers still. I think this is the most viewers I've had this consistently on any stream. So I appreciate everybody sticking with me here. Okay, so this is what we'll do for this one. Again, this feels like not that cool, but I want to do one more. Maybe we'll revisit these tomorrow and like restyle them up and make them like fine tune them, you know? Or if anybody wants to submit a PR and add some styles. I appreciate that, Joan. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm learning every day myself. It feels good to be able to share. This is an interesting one. So we want to do a BPM counter. They tap along with their favorite Christmas tunes while they work, provide real-time feedback on the tempo of the music. I don't think I've ever implemented something like this in my life. So basically, like, once they start, we have to start a time, right? We have to start some type of timer. This basically at this rate, at this many seconds, or at this rate with this much time, how many times you've clicked in this period of time, figuring out how many BPMs that is. So if I click it 5 times within a second, or 5 times within a second, yeah, then that would be what? 300 BPM. Then we do 5 times 60. And that would get, I guess that's how we have to do it, right? But my question is it has to this is actually interesting. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I have some bad habits that I don't want to demonstrate on stream. So you see me cut out every now and then. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and it should go. I'm trying to think about I've literally never implemented anything like this before. So this is like a new thing for me. So I imagine we have to count backwards, right? We have to count, or when they click start, or after the first click, so there's a reset button, right? So resetting it, let's just say resetting it would start it out, like would just stop whatever we're doing, whatever we're tracking. And then when they click on whatever the beat button is, boom, boom, boom. Every time they click that, we're basically calculate, we need how many clicks they've had and then how much time has elapsed. Okay, this shouldn't be that, I guess this isn't gonna be that crazy. At least I don't think. We'll find out though. Okay, so I know for a fact that once we so once you click beat the first time, it's going to start a timer. That time is going to tick, 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 tick. Then each time they click, we also are going to calculate, then we'll be able to calculate the BPM based on that time and then how many clicks have occurred during that entire time. And we'll have to, like, obviously relative to the minute. All right. You guys ready to see me struggle to implement this? 26 of you, great. It's the challenge thing about streaming. Like when I'm doing something that I'm familiar with, it's one thing. Like the other things we've done are basic, like CRUD things and just like getting data and like formatting it. And this is something that's a little bit more interactive. So I guess we can just do like beats. let beats state, and I'm just gonna do like counter. Yes, that's what we need. Counts. I was gonna put an array in there like an idiot. I don't know why I was gonna do that, but I was gonna push beat strings into the array. Counter. Okay, so we have this. Reset will obviously just, I think at the moment beats will be just 0. Maybe we have to do something else like stop the timer probably too in here. So I'll probably, but what I can do is I can probably have an effect. It says something like if beats is equal to 0, return, right? Because we're going to say we're starting when beats is at 1 or more. So once beats is not 0, we're going to do something. This may be, that's when we're going to start the timer. I guess an interval really, right? So I mean, do we just do like seconds? I guess like maybe we'll go by like seconds. I'm trying to think here like I'm making the next Fruity Loops or whatever the hell the software is people make beats in. Otherwise, well, we could do. The hell is the? It's not a damn Node.js interval in the browser. What is this? What do you return? You return a number, right? Yep. Okay. It's like a timeout. This is gonna run every time beats is updated though. Isn't it? Maybe we just do, maybe we disconnect these then. I have no clue what I'm doing right now, so just bear with me, all right? We'll figure it out though. So if not started, because this is only going to run when this changes. So even if we're like, even if it's reevaluating this every time, it should not run this every time. At least I don't think. It only actually runs on mounts or when it changes, when it first component first mounts and when it changes. Sorry, I couldn't speak there. And then I think we could do like this. Oh, sorry. Interval. Okay, it returns the timeouts. Is that true? Now you don't do a timeout. This never runs on the server, right? Does not. Okay, so now we get a number. And we're just incrementing the time. Just count the interval between beats and calculate 60 divided by the interval equals beats per minute. Yeah, let me okay, let me just try to figure it out first, and then I'll ask you guys. So let me experiment. Let me fail, okay? You'll give me the answers until you see me start to cry a little bit. Well, my idea here is I'm just trying to like keep track of the time that's passed, right? So that's what the interval is here for. How much time has passed since they started this thing? Like I'm trying to have like a little, you know, a reference to that time, right? I say I count every millisecond, but that seems like a kind of excessive. But I was just going to do seconds, right? And then when time updates, every second it's going to recalculate the BPM. I guess I could recalculate the BPM every time someone clicks as well, but I still need a reference to how much time has elapsed, right? Otherwise, how do I know, unless I'm time stamping the clicks, right? Every beat click is a timestamp. At least in my head, that's how I'm thinking about it. So let me just see if this works or if this is absolute trash. We'll find out. This is just going to be seconds. This is going to be so cringe. I know there's I saw a countdown timer, and I've actually never done one of those either. So before, I think there's a countdown timer coming up as well, and I was kind of nervous about that. I haven't researched it yet or anything. This is all just off the cuff. Okay, so let's just say on click, just want to see what this looks like at this point in time. Gosh, still 29 people here. I was hoping if I streamed late, you know, there may not be that many people watching me. All right, that's an instant ban there, Adrian. I'm sorry, you gotta go, man. Yeah, HTMX fixes this. Okay, so let's see. When I click on beat, right, I got my time elapsed, I got my beats, right? I'm like boom, 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 boom. So what I want to do is run a computation on the amount of time that has elapsed relative to a minute. Or I guess normalized to minutes or whatever the word I'm looking for there is, and compute it that way. Does that not make sense? Makes sense in my head. We'll find out. So just think about this. So function get BPM. exactly this. I'm gonna regret that when I realize there's more logic to it and I have to like move that out, but okay. Let's just spam click this to 60, right? If we get to 60 beats per minute, we should be at 60 when the time hits 60. And I think we're on track. I don't know if this is actually how these things would work, but in my head, this makes most sense. I don't want to count time in between beats because that's not really important. What's important is how many beats do they have per minute? Because if I did 1 beat in the first second and then I did 500 beats in the last second, that's still 501 beats per minute, technically, right? It looks like we're going to be right. Ooh, look at that. Precision accuracy there. I mean, does this look right? Any musicians here? Is this okay? Obviously, you wouldn't be, using this reference to produce your tracks, but okay. The infinity thing there, it looks a little bit weird. How the hell do I say not infinity? It's actually a damn thing. Only grudge, there's 1 beat at T0. Oh, whoops. Reset isn't resetting the time. I guess I can not do this and just stop being an idiot. If started, put this here. Okay, when I beat this, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. At 0. Okay, before it hits 0 seconds. So maybe I just start this at 1 then. Yeah, because how this is happening is, yeah, that would make maybe no, I use so BPM on a song. Okay, so just don't count the first beat. I guess that makes more sense. So it's basically just like start and then beat. So in this case, maybe I should like change this to have a start button, but I feel like I'd want to be ready to go right away, So BPM, if I pull up like Epidemic Sound over here, which is what's playing this music right now, we can see here, like this has BPM for this track. You can tell it's not like super fast, not super slow. We go to like, did this song just change? Where's the music playing from right now? Are you all hearing music? I think we're listening to different music right now. I'm not kidding. Hold on. Oh yeah, I am playing it over here on a I'm playing it on Arc, but I'm not streaming my Arc sound into the stream. Anyways, whatever. So here we have BPM. This is the whole track. Like, what is the average BPM for the whole track? And you can see here, like, this one is obviously, let me find one that's maybe like slower here. Like, if you look at this one and this one, I'm not sure if this is beats or what, but you know, this one obviously has some slow gaps here, and it's a little bit less. That's the way I look at it, at least. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but I'm under the impression it's on a per track basis, not like a per minute basis. Like, what is the average beats per minute of whatever track you're listening to? But again, like, you could do it that way too. The question doesn't necessarily say, but it does say something that alludes to that, which is you can consider including a selection of classic Christmas songs to the system, perhaps through embedding YouTube videos. Would allow the elves to choose a song and then use your BPM counter to stay in sync with its rhythm. So, you know, we would just kind of vibe to the music. I was going to do that for one of these songs, but I'm afraid to like mess with the audio setup right now because I'm listening to music and you all aren't listening to the same thing, which is weird. But yeah, I agree, Andy. So I'm saying I really like new problems. So the first beat, well, first beat is not going to increment it. Oh, the first beat is not going to start the timer. So then we have to subtract one from our, maybe we just do a start. Let's do this. Start. There we go. I think that should work. I'm gonna have 500 buttons on this page. So what I want to do is have a stop as well, but not reset. You want to have a stop and not reset. That way I can like see what we just did, you know, without resetting everything. It'd be cool to have these as like, you know, yeah, this feels like it makes sense. Like if I was clicking this fast, I feel like this is like one of those like fast-paced EDM songs. We could do, you know, rather than this, we could just do like a, I don't know. It's so annoying. So I'm gonna add the roll up top. I don't want to give this a roll button though, because I'm not gonna do it everywhere. Whatever, let's just do it over here in our own component. Now we have like one of those nice, you know, like boom, boom, boom. We can even do a active, what is it? Scale. Now we do this like boom, 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 boom. Looks like an actual drum, you know? But if started is not true, we should probably disable this thing, eh? Hope you all don't mind my like lack of styles here. I just kind of want to focus on the stuff. So now when I click start, you know, it feels like a little bit like a drum, you know? Maybe we add a transition. I don't know if there already is a transition there. Maybe it's just applied to colors. Where is that? Yeah, we're just transitioning colors. If we transition all, now it's more smooth, you know? Feels like we're actually in a studio. I'm hitting the space bar right now. Yes, sir. But obviously you have to click on it first. So we could do that. Let's do that. It's a good idea. Not this. If you're getting all these errors when you're using Shatsy and Svelte, like you're getting these lint errors, this realistically shouldn't even be this should be overwritten by Svelte probably out of the box, because like I'm just not sure where I would use this. Like they provide this as the ability to like expose what events are being forwarded, but then if you don't use it, if you don't have it, then you don't get IntelliSense on like the events that are being exposed. As far as like what type of handler it is, or what if it's a custom event. But then if you use it, if you don't have it and you don't use it in here, it shouldn't give this error here, in my opinion. Same thing with like generic. So I have an ESLint config that I need to like put on npm and just be able to add it to my projects, but I just ignore these things here. If you're interested in it. Shit, I keep doing that. I have audio on here 3 times. If you stop tap, BPM must not change. But how does it know how many BPMs there is then? That's my question, is if I stop tapping... Because otherwise, how does it know how long it's been, how long a minute has been passed? Is it just in between the beats? What song are you guys hearing right now? I need to find where I'm playing my music at. Give me a second here. Okay, I found the music I was listening to, which is not the same thing you all were listening to. So let me fix my audio here. Where is this caster? Oh, you guys are listening to some chill stuff over here. I was over there in house mode, I think. Okay, let's see what song we listening to. What we got here? This is 120. I don't know how. Honestly, I have no clue what is considered a beat. And my reset is not clearing the timeout, so let me just first fix that. Like that, that's the beat. Like, I don't know. I guess just handle this all here, eh? Yeah, because I think I see what you guys are saying, but this is pretty on. This is pretty on par, though. This is 120 song. Yeah, no, I definitely see what you're getting at. So I guess in that, but yeah, so I guess this does technically give us a BPM. It's just not like a And so here's my question though, for those who are saying it should stop, is when I stop and I start again, how the hell do I know I would still do the same thing, would I not? Like obviously this is actually BPM, right? So this is BPM, but is it not, this is not how it's done in like FL Studio and stuff like that? Because otherwise, how do you keep it going? Like, how do I, if I stop here and it's like, okay, you know, does that make sense? Like, what am I supposed to do next? Like, how do I know what is coming? Like, how long? I'm trying to find a video right now of like somebody using one of these products, like Fruity Loops or something like that. think it's like FL Studio. Yeah, I'm not too sure, guys. I don't really know. I mean, if someone wants to give me, I guess, an idea. I mean, this is obviously accurate because if I do 60 beats and it goes past a minute, it's 60 beats per minute. This is obviously an accelerated amount of beats per minute, right? This is probably accurate, 3 something. You don't stop. The user keeps tapping until they drift close enough to what they want. And so then you just crop out whatever you just crop the beginning part after you get that sample or whatever. I mean, has anybody else done this on Twitter or anything? Let me look. If you guys have done this or you guys know somebody who has, link me their repo. I just want to confirm this. Quick TLDW of the challenge. Here, I'll put it up on the screen for you. Svelte Discord. Okay, let me pull it up. I guess I could do this, eh? One of these days, I hope that it's just gonna like open the app when I click on that button. You know, it'd be great. Svelte Discord, or is it? Is there Svelte? Having a Svelte somewhere? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Day 9, day 8. What is this? Day 6. That's how you get copyright striked right there. I can't hear. They had to put a freaking copyright song in here. But it seems like yeah, they're also not changing it on every time. Not sure what this is. Oh, they got tempo going on in the background, I think. Okay. That one looks maybe more correct than mine. It's okay. Oh, this is dope, actually. Wow. This is really cool. If it's like, is it like getting me BPMs that are near the, or are they just getting some random recommendations? I thought I was going to get ones that were like near my BPM. Okay, so I think I see what's happening. It's still keeping the time, right? So it's still tracking how much time has elapsed because like I haven't pressed it in a few seconds. When I click it, it's going to dramatically go down. You know, if I spam click it now, it's going to start going back up. So I wonder if it's just the way that we're like presenting it, or the way that we're recomputing the BPM like in real time rather than like after the click, I guess is like what I'm thinking, right? Yeah, we have spacebar too. I don't have it. I should do it just autofocus. Probably after start, I should just autofocus on that button. Like once you start, I guess, clicking it, I can just spam click this thing. No, I'm not going through all of them today. I'll probably stream tomorrow too. Honestly, it's been fun. I'll probably stream tomorrow and do that then. Do more of them. I would like to get through them all. It'd be cool. But let me just fix this real quick. So let's just so basically we're only going to calculate the BPM whenever they click on the thing. Right now we are depending on time too, right? So I feel like we could use an effect here and do an untrack. Maybe, and just have this actually just be like state. And then we're basically going to do this, but we need to untrack time. Right? So they don't want it to update this. We don't want it to do that, call this effect whenever time changes, only when beats change. So I think we can do something like T equals untrack time. Or is it just untrack time like this? I still haven't figured out the whole untrack thing just yet, so forgive me. Yeah. So this should work, I think. Whoops. I hope this doesn't introduce a loop. It might actually, I might have just made a... It should crash and tell me though, I think, right? Hello? Jesus, we did something really bad. I don't know what the hell I just did there. Or that's a bad word. Very bad word to use on stream. Apologies for that. Oh, is this because my formula is all messed up here? No, this is not part of the equation. So I thought this would evaluate the time. Oh, just the last 2 clicks? That's it? That's not as cool. I was thinking this is like a competition, like keep up with the song, you know? No, time should be time increments. But after yeah, this first one, but it shouldn't recompute. It shouldn't recompute it. In my head, what untrack means, it don't react to this. At the time of this, like, used it at the time this was called, but don't react to updates in time. Meaning it's only gonna react to updates in beats. But I think I'm like doing some recursive weird shit here. So let me just reset myself. Let me see some other people's. Only like 3 people have done this one so far. Let's see how this one does it. I'm gonna wait like 5 seconds. Okay, so it is the last 2 beats. This seems off though. There's no way that's 178 beats per minute. I don't believe that. Okay, so that one right there, you can see I pressed it twice. So like I'm gonna hit it. I'm up at like 1,000 right now, right? I'm gonna wait like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, hit it. 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 I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe you guys are right after all. If it's just between the last 2 beats, then that makes life a bit easier, right? Then we just track how much time has elapsed in between the beats. So for every beat, we reset the time, right? But I guess I just have only 2 beats, and I'm only gonna ever have 2 beats in my thing, right? Yeah. Well, we'll fix this. Maybe we'll fix this tomorrow. It's getting late here. It's 12:30. I have to work tomorrow, so I gotta head off. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Appreciate all of you guys and gals, if there's any in the chat. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. I'll do more tomorrow. I will for sure. Hold me to it. See you guys.